Grainmaker. Welcome, everyone, to the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, a Prairie Proud wrestling podcast covering everything from Winnipeg to worldwide. My name is Blair Pacheco. I hope you're doing well, having a great day, evening, weekend, whenever it is you're sitting down and listening to this. Now, I got to admit, I'm very stoked for my guest. They bring an energy and enthusiasm to the world of professional wrestling that I think it's a rare thing nowadays. You know, like obviously you see people get into it, get excited, but my guests today, they're a ray of sunshine. They're here on the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. Joining me is the Bombshell, Danielle. Haley, how's it going?
I'm going good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I have to ask. I mean, you're obviously a fan of professional wrestling. I mean, the Bret Hart shirt that you're wearing. I mean, you know we love Bret up here in Canada, so it's only it's perfect. But where did this love for wrestling? Where did that first start?
Oh goodness. I wouldn't be able to remember. That's how long ago it is, right? I've
Mhm.
I've always just watched wrestling as a kid. My dad watched it when he was younger and as he grew up. I've seen all the VHS tapes. I've seen all the DVDs you can think of. Um, it's just something that just always fascinated me whenever I was a kid.
So a lot of it is, like just the, having that sort of thing. Like I find the bond you have with a parent over watching wrestling is a big thing. I know that was part of it for me, and I'm assuming that was for you as well.
Of course, even though nowadays my dad's like the subject of my dad is pretty sensitive,
Mhm.
but remembering when I was growing up, watching wrestling was always like the greatest pastime for us. We watched Monday Night Raw, whenever Friday Night SmackDown would happen on TV, watching all the pay-per-views and everything like that. It did bond us as far as uh like how everyone has their football or their baseball, but wrestling was just something that we've always just sat down and watched together.
Do you remember like which wrestlers, which characters that you were drawn most to?
You're gonna think I'm funny, but Shawn Michaels was one when I was a kid. For sure. Booker T is another one I
Mhm.
really loved. RVD was another. Um, because like you got to think, I was born in 1998, so
Okay.
I was around mostly like watching like the Ruthless Aggression and things like that. But with the exposure and knowledge that my dad had with wrestling, I've seen like all of the 70s, 80s, 90s um parts of it as well.
Mhm. And I mean, like did you grow up down in Texas?
Oh yes, I'm born and raised.
So, I mean, obviously there's the history with wrestling in Texas. Like it's known,
Mhm.
like the territories, but what was that like, for yourself, kind of like when you're getting into wrestling, knowing what, wrestling in Texas was like?
You would think with someone that has so much knowledge, because I have a lot of knowledge of wrestling. I didn't really get into a lot of like independent wrestling until when I was probably 12, maybe 11, when
Mhm.
I seen that reality of wrestling was on the CW back in the day. And I had to like stay up and watch it at like 2 in the morning. And
Mhm.
my dad would be so upset I would be up that late. But I wanted to watch it, you know. It was another thing of exposure for me to see the up and coming wrestlers that we also get to be able to see like in NXT or
Yeah.
in other platforms of wrestling that is in a higher caliber.
I think also knowing that like this is something that's like it's happening almost in your backyard. Like the
Mhm.
people that are wrestling there, you could see them like at the grocery store on any given day. When you're a kid or when you're younger watching that, it kind of makes it seem like this is something that you yourself could do.
Right. Like whenever I was younger, like obviously I'm like looking at, like your Triple H's or your Batistas and Rey Mysterios, and you're seeing this on TV, and I'm just like, I've always wanted to be like my heroes.
Mhm.
Like that's how I always thought as these wrestlers, they're heroes. They're people that take the time and make me have my escape from whatever reality is going on, and I'm zoned in for those 2 hours or 3 hours of broadcast. And it's like the most incredible thing in the world.
Mhm.
Like no one could tell me anything different when it comes to pro wrestling. I would get made fun of as a kid for loving something that is fake or
Yes.
something, you know? I hate that word. But it was something that I knew whenever I was 10 years old, like I want to be a part of this. I want to be in the element of being like that hero of mine, and I
Mhm.
can be a hero to someone else.
You know,
It's beautiful.
you mentioned that, and like the people always saying like, oh, it's fake, how can you watch something like that? And I remember being at that age still thinking that this was real life, like that they were actually fighting. And like I remember crying at 10 years old when someone was like, no, it's fake, and I was like, no, it's not. But to me it actually was real. You believe in what they're telling you, and I think that is one of the most beautiful things about professional wrestling, especially as a kid.
Exactly. It's a beautiful story.
Mhm.
It it brings you from seeing the reality of whatever's going on in your life. Like, I don't know, me as a kid, like I get made fun of at school or something.
Mhm.
And it takes that element part where I just don't even care about what's going on out here.
Mhm.
And I'm so zoned into the characters. I'm zoned into the story. And it makes me be like, if they can do this, I can be able to handle the bully that's over here making fun of me in elementary school or something, you know?
Definitely.
It's a great um what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word.
Like, I almost think of it as a way that, like, you can enter this world, this story, and as a fan, it's something that you can be a part of because the emotion, and it's almost like an escape from everything that you can be
Escape.
a part of a story. Yeah, it's a escape from whatever could be like the issues and things that are bothering you, whether it's bullies or work or anything, and you can sit down and watch a 2 hour show and feel emotion and be part of a story. And I think that is a beautiful thing with wrestling.
Especially with me being a very emotional person, I get very attached to certain characters. I get attached to the story that's at hand that they want you to feel.
Hmm.
I love to see whenever fans feel something,
Hmm.
and there's nothing like that, Like even with the character that I am as being the bombshell, like I want people to feel what I'm trying to tell.
Yeah. I think that's a very incredible thing. Like when, the bombshell, Haley Danielle, when did you decide that like this was something like you knew you always wanted to do it, but when did that become a reality where you were like, I'm going to put the steps forth. I'm going to get involved with wrestling.
You'd be surprised. So I was one night at my shoot job, just scrolling through Instagram and things like that, and I happened to pass Reality of Wrestling's page.
Mhm.
And I've always known, like as a kid, whenever I was 12, like they had their school, right? I've always known this, and I have like I don't know, like paper printings of like this is the school, this and that, or what have you, and everything on it. I still have the paper somewhere around here, and there's like a I I don't know how old that paper is now, but Uh, but I've always known, I've always known that reality wrestling was the school I wanted to go to.
Mhm.
And I just so happened to see that they were in Texas City, and it wasn't too far from where I was at, living in Webster at one point. And I took a chance on myself, and I messaged the page, and I was like, "Hey, when can I probably do something with this?" And
Yeah.
I came in the next day,
Oh wow, it was that
and
quick.
July, what was it? July 22nd of 2020. So
Okay.
when I first came in, and I got my first person I met in there was Kevin and um, and Warren. They were the first two people that greeted me. They had showed me around the facility. I fell in love, and I did my conditioning the next day. And ever
S-
since then, I was at reality wrestling for what, like about a good 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that was like you messaged you're there the next day, and then it was like from the frying pan right into the fire. Like it was go, go, go as soon as you step foot there, basically.
absolutely.
What was like you start off with the conditioning. What was that like for you? Like growing up, were you an active person? Like was this an adjustment or because I know
So,
wrestling cardio is different.
oh, the cardio and conditioning is out of this world. But for me, when I was in high school, like my sophomore year in high school, I used to be a power lifter.
Okay.
So so like lifting the weights and how heavy it was and everything, it was intense, but it wasn't as like intense as conditioning for
Yeah.
wrestling. I had to do so much as far as like your cardio work is concerned. Even like in the facility though, they had their own gym in there. So we were able to lift weights in there, get our workouts in and everything like that. And it was truly an humbling experience.
Mhm.
But you know, it builds you. It creates something in you that you never thought that you had.
So you start off with the cardio, the conditioning. How long before you were able to sort of step foot in the ring and start that aspect of the training?
Um, Let me think because it was kind of far back. Probably like a good like 4 weeks, I think,
Okay.
of conditioning. Hmm.
So they're making sure that like you're ready before you step foot in the ring. They want to make sure that you can go, that you know that like, hey, you're not going to get blown up. You're going to be okay in there. Like they're making sure the cardio aspect is there before like you get going.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
What was that like when you step foot in there? Because you know, like that's a whole new world now you're entering.
Oh, it was insane. It was insane. So, oh, I don't know if I should be able to say this now, but whenever I had first stepped into the ring, it was actually Reality of Wrestling's show ring that I was in, and Gina Medina was the first person to teach me my first front rolls and back rolls.
Mhm.
The feeling of that, like it's giving me jitters now. Um, just the feeling of being in the show ring, just
Yeah.
not even just like the training rings that they would have in the back at the time, but just being around that ring was like I felt like I knew I was meant to showcase who I can be and something that I had to learn to develop to be who I am today,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's incredible that like this is something that you were watching as a kid growing up on TV, like you know, staying up late to watch it, and here you are, you're being able to practice. You know, you're practicing your roles. You're becoming a wrestler in that very same ring that you were seeing people like wrestling on TV. That's a huge moment. I feel like that's a big kudos to you that you actually went through this and you were there doing it.
Exactly, especially you know uh being a girl or being a person that sees this big dream, right? Wrestling is the biggest dream that I feel like I had ever been able to I'm not going to say accomplish just yet,
Mhm.
because there's more to it than what meets the eye.
Mhm.
But for me to be able to put my foot into the door of that dream and just seeing the parts that I see now and then knowing that there's more to come when it comes to that, it's definitely a world that it just thinking about it, it just gives you like a source, like a form of like
Yeah.
euphoria. but um but yeah, just doing the training that I've done at reality wrestling, and then being able to venture out into different promotions, that gave me a chance to be able to showcase what I can do, as
Mhm.
far as because I've done more than just wrestling, right?
Yes.
I've done commentary, I've done ring announcing. I manage Alex Arsenal. He's incredible talent. I think the only thing I haven't done yet was been a referee.
Okay.
you know
Hey, there's still time. You never know. Maybe guest referee sometime.
and I'm looking forward to one day.
Like, so I mean, I knew that you had done different stuff, like that you
Mhm.
had done some managing, and then just that there's I wasn't sure if you had done the commentary and stuff too, because you can't always believe what you read online, but I was like, I'll ask, but I want to know, like, did you started off with professional wrestling though, like actually in a ring, and then branched out to try the different stuff, or how did the story of Haley become like into wrestling go?
So, my first thing that I've done actually was I don't really say that it was managing, but it was more of like I was Rachel Rose's right hand of the queen. That's what it was.
Okay.
So it was like she took me under her wing and was trying to teach me certain things. So we're able to get me to where I need to be, as far as being, I guess, like to just learn, just to
Yeah.
learn from her and everything. And then eventually, it turned out that I had my first match with Rachel Rose at New Texas Pro.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and the opportunity that I got from that was pretty incredible. I was very um, thankful and grateful that I had gotten that opportunity to have Kiefer Bartek, who runs New Texas Pro, to be able to get into the ring of a promotion that is very well known in the Texas scene.
Mhm.
So I'm very grateful for Kiefer for that, and I'm very grateful for Rachel Rose, um, for the fact that I had my first match with her, and she's an incredible talent as well.
Yeah, I mean, even all the way up here, I'm very familiar with the great work New Texas Pro is doing down there. Like
Hmm.
they're really establishing themselves as a prominent independent promotion, and knowing that you were able to be a part of their history. I think that's a huge step too, especially for yourself. Um, do you remember like how you felt going into that match? Because I mean, this is something, that had been a big part of your life. So I was wondering how you were feeling.
Of course, like I felt nervous. I felt scared. I wanted to puke my guts out. I was terrified. I really was.
Mhm.
I was so terrified. It, I just remember just the entrance alone. Like, soon as like my music hit and I went out and I opened the curtains and I was on the ramp, I just looked out at everyone and I was like, whoa. Like, I literally gave myself a deep breath on stage. And I was just like, why did I do that? like you could see it happen, right? Like because it was I think it was on IWTV or on YouTube or something. I know the clip is somewhere. Do not
Mhm.
look it up. But I see it, and and I see my hands just like I gave myself that deep breath, and I was just like, dang, I can't believe I did that.
Mhm.
Like looking at it, and I'm like, dude. I also just remember my little sister was in the crowd. She's only a year and 2 weeks younger than me
Okay.
and my brother, but I was I was very happy that she was there to see my first match, and she's seen plenty of my other matches. I think she's like practically the only family member really that has seen my matches. My mom is too scared to watch me get beat up or something, you know.
You know, I do want to say, like, with the deep breath, like, to me, it just means like it's something that like you worked for, and it's like you're
Hmm.
here. Like
Exactly.
you're stepping foot into that ring, and it's like that almost like not that sigh of relief, but it's like let's do this. Like
Hmm.
that's how I look at that. So I think that's totally normal.
Yeah, like probably whenever I was there, like in the moment when I took that deep breath, it was more so of like, I'm looking at everybody in this crowd and they're cheering for me.
Mhm.
And in the moment of where I always felt like it was going to take forever for me to get there, which I did feel like it took forever, but I knew I needed it to take forever. So, and
Mhm.
then I can be prepared for a moment and for something like that. And then when the bell rung, um, it was like, wow, I'm really doing this. I'm
Mhm.
I'm here. I'm in the ring with Rachel Rose. I'm surrounded by people that are, cheering me on, and I'm just I see my sister, and she's someone that has always believed in me. Um, since the moment that she knew like I was going to be training at Row, and then here I am here, and then the progression from that moment, um, it's been incredible. Like I feel more confident than I was when I first started,
Mhm.
obviously,
Yeah.
um, and the evolution of um, of how I carry myself in the ring, and also like just even in general as you're looking at me,
Mhm.
I feel like my Bombshell character really helped as far as being more confident, being more in the know of things.
Oh, that's a great segue because I want to ask about the creation of the Bombshell. Like, how did you come upon, the Bombshell character of Haley Danielle?
So I've always wanted Haley Danielle. Haley Danielle is my first and middle name.
Mhm.
It's the name is something I'm very proud of. I'm very proud to be Haley. And growing up, I was always this nerdy kid. I've watched wrestling all the time. I'm very smart in school. I'm always this I'm very intelligent. I really am. And with being the bombshell is like a whole different uh breed. She's this beautiful, glamorous, wearing makeup, looks perfect and everything. And she's something I didn't see myself as growing up.
Mhm.
So I wanted to portray a character that is like basically the total opposite of who I viewed myself as. And I let it run with it. And also I felt at the time when I was doing like trying to figure out what moniker or whatnot to fit with my name, I was just like, Bombshell, does it kind of rhyme with Danielle? Who knows? So I just ran with it.
You make it work.
I look, I You hand me something and I will try to make it work.
Mhm.
I'm not one of those to give up on something as soon as the moment that you give me something. I'm just like, I will see whatever I can do. And that also brings up how I started managing Alex Arsenal. It was something that was
Yes.
thrown in, and we made it work together. And we've been having the this dynamic for a little over 4 years now. You know,
Mhm.
it's something that we just thrown together at Wrestle Rave, thrown together, and then other promotions liked it, and there you go. And it just
I think it's a testament to the work that you two have done, that like knowing that it's like, okay, yeah, you can book Alex, but like you also need to book Haley too, because that's a part of this package, like you're not getting the full experience if you're only taking one or the other, like to complete it. You need both of them. Um, I want to ask about the preparation between, like, the differences maybe when it comes to wrestling as it is to managing, because obviously you're involved with everything going out onto the ring, but it's almost a different mindset. And I was wondering if you noticed any differences in how you prepare for that.
um to be honest, I don't necessarily think that it's a big difference, because I'm still out in the crowd.
Mhm.
I'm still having the crowd view me in my own character, and I just have a different role to that's played, Um because I don't know if you've ever seen any of my work, but sometimes I also do get hit. Sometimes I
Mhm.
do get kicked. Just
Mhm.
being a manager, I've fallen off a ladder into a door because, Alex, but we don't talk about that. um, but like it's like I'm also still part of the story.
Yes.
I just add a little bit more spice to it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Same way as if you're an in-ring performer, you still have the story that you're trying to tell. You still have the outcomes of whatever is ended for the matches, or for whatever storyline that is there. It's just that, me being a manager, you're out there doing something as well, and you still have to be you still got to look a certain way for you to be a manager, just like as you do being a wrestler. You got to know where your camera angles are. You got to know where everything is. You got to interact with the crowd in the same way. It's just that you just have a different role.
Definitely. There was one thing I wanted to ask, and that's because I know you promoted on social media, and that is some of the work that RCW has done, talking to schools and doing work in the community. And I want to ask what that means to yourself, and I'm obviously can't speak for everyone in RCW, but what it means to you in the promotion.
I've always believed in the fact that I was going to be doing something like this, right? Because like I've said to you earlier, I've always wanted to be someone else's hero as well,
Mhm.
where someone can look up to me and they'd be like, "Oh, well, since Haley does this, I can do this too." I want to embed and be a firm believer of that, for the next generations that do come. And with RCW, uh, having the opportunity to do things like that, to showcase, like, we're here to be able to prep a like, for the kids that go in to do a star test or something. We want them to be able to let them know that, like, hey, we're here for you, we're here to support you, and this test is nothing. We can body slam this test and you're gonna get it, like, you're gonna pass into all these grades and things like that. I love the support that we can give back to the communities like that. um and I'm very grateful that RCW has reached out to these schools and different events that we're able to come in and showcase for that.
Mhm. To be a part of the community in that aspect, and to I don't want to, like almost be like, not, to put pressure, but like a role model almost, to know that like, hey, like I was, I went to this school or whichever, and like, I did all this, and like you could do this too. You can conquer anything that's in front of you. You just have to believe, sort of thing.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Does I mean, obviously you're very, familiar with it because like you've mentioned it, but knowing that you could quite possibly be like a role model for like younger generations, there could be girls in the crowd seeing you do this. I mean, that has to really hit home as like just knowing that you're impacting these kids in like such a positive way.
Absolutely. Because like I was saying, growing up, I didn't really have much of people to really look up to, but the wrestlers that I would see on TV, I
Mhm,
had I had just always thought they were just like, you know, the coolest people I ever seen. And I never thought like ever I would meet any of them, but
mhm.
at least I know that they put an effect on me that was a very positive one for me, to where I'm just like I can do the same thing that they are,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to inspire a little kid and just be like, hey, if I can do this, and I had a lot of struggles trying to get where I'm at today.
Mhm.
Like, also I'm a type 1 diabetic.
Oh
Not a
wow.
lot of people know that, but I'm also a type 1 diabetic. I've been diabetic for 17 years.
Okay.
It also has an impact on me as well when I'm trying to like if I'm training, or going to the gym, lifting weights, or even just having a match, it can affect me.
Mhm.
But I do my best, and I want to be able to inspire as many people as possible, as far as like, the struggles and the obstacles that you have to go through with being who you want to be cannot stop you.
Mhm. That is an incredible message, and I, pardon my ignorance. I had no idea about the type one diabetic, and like even just knowing how much that could affect you in your like career when it comes to wrestling, because it
Hmm.
almost changes the dynamic when it comes to training or preparation for a match, because like there's all these other factors on top of that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
what, like, has it been, you can obviously, defer, but has it been like easy to manage with it with your wrestling career? Because obviously it's something that you have to be mindful of when it comes to like training and stuff.
Right. So I have been in this wrestling world for, well, I started training in 2020, so almost about 6 years.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it was 11 years that I've been diabetic already
Okay.
before I started training. So I had to make a lot of adjustments, as far as because I had an insulin pump before. I had to get rid of it, and I had to go back to injections. I
Mhm.
used to have like a continuous glucose monitor that'd be in the back of my arm. Can't use that no more. So I had to go back to the basics, mostly, as far as like, doing my insulin injections or checking my blood sugars, and just to be more aware of like how my body feels,
Mhm.
before I go into training, or before I'm having a match. I just have to make sure that I'm good, because if I'm not good, the match is not going to be good. The training's not going to be good. My opponent's not going to be good. So it all has to start with me first.
Mhm.
So just knowing like the sacrifices that I had to take, as far as like what's more important, the convenience of taking my diabetes like this, or the adjustments that I know I had to take, as far as doing things that is probably going to be, not mentally easier for me necessarily, but the actions that I had to take as far as knowing that I want to be this performer and I want to be at this standard that I want to be as a professional wrestler, but also know I have to take care of myself.
Definitely. Now, I mean, I wanted to ask because I mean, you even mentioned before, like stepping out of training, you branched out, put yourself out there to different promotions, to if you're going to become a wrestler, it's one of the things you have to do. Like you got to sell yourself, you got to put yourself out there, and how else are you going to get known? Um, when it came to that, how was it an easy sort of thing to do? Did you find difficulties in that? Because I know the thought, like the of possible rejection or just, like just the fact that you're putting yourself out there, that's a big step. How did you feel about that?
Most definitely, it is like a really big step,
Hmm.
as far as like, just trying to get your foot in the door in certain promotions. For me, sometimes the promoter sees the work that you put in. Like if I'm like posting like me in training on social media, or just showing up at a wrestling promotion or being there, physically being there is one of the most important things to me,
Hmm.
is showing up. Because if you don't show up, how is anyone going to see you?
Yep.
Being active, as far as like I said, just being there, being able to see what the show needs. Like, because what I showed up to a wrestling show to see if they needed help with ring crew, or just being a security guard.
Hmm.
you know um it's just something that I've always believed in, is being able to go and show up somewhere, and you just never know what they need from you. Um, Even just posting like, oh, that you're at an event somewhere and they see that you're there,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, let's get her
Hmm.
booked. And just always make sure like you have your ring gear with you.
I mean,
Number one.
eh, that's one thing for yourself. I know that you very much use social media as a very powerful tool to get
Mhm.
your clips out there, and I think that's something that a lot of wrestlers like. It's like free advertising for yourself to sell yourself, and you've done an incredible job utilizing your platform to get your name out there.
And I always feel like I can do more. You can always do more to
Mhm.
promote yourself. um Reaching out, because I'm trying to get to a point this year that I'm trying to venture out of Texas and try to get booked outside of Texas. And fortunately, I have some opportunities coming up, but I'm not going to say. You're just
All
going to
right.
see me pop up in a certain state somewhere, probably in your neck of the woods or something. You never know.
Well, I mean that's huge though. Like just putting yourself out there and getting those opportunities is good because like
Mhm.
that's how you're going to grow as a wrestler and continue to build, your career. So that's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you. It's always about, taking the initiative, and
Mhm.
to take a chance on yourself. That was the biggest message that I have this year for me, is to, take a chance on yourself. Take that chance.
Yep.
You know.
You can't always expect people to come to you, where you have
Mhm.
to be willing to put yourself out there, bet on yourself that like you're here, you're going to do this, and people are going to get it.
Exactly.
Now, I have to ask because I mean, you've been doing this for a little bit now, but have there been some matches or moments that really stand out to you that really mean a lot to you?
Hmm. There's a lot of moments for me. Even just like spectating things too, or just me managing, and oh geez.
because you've done quite a bit already, so that's why
I
it's
know
yeah.
it's a that one's a thinker for sure. um for me also is just seeing like other people have like their moments, you know.
Yeah.
It isn't always just about me. I I've done an incredible job as far as like you know, I know obviously it's like, put yourself over, but for me it's like I love the growth um that I see within, the wrestling community in a whole.
Mhm.
Um like I said, with managing Alex for 4 years, I've seen him grow and he's prospered and he's done some very incredible things. Um I've seen like Dustin win incredible things. He's on TNA and all these other things, and I'm very proud of seeing that. I love seeing other people's stories and other people's growth as well, not just my own, but just
Mhm.
others. Um, I could probably put myself over for one thing, like I had said about like
You should do at
falling
least
off the
one.
ladder into a door. That was
Yes.
incredibly insane for me because
Mhm.
I'm scared of heights as it is.
Mhm.
So I was not thinking about going up on this ladder, but they just like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, oh my God. In the moment I knew that it was happening, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I'm holding on to this ladder and I'm looking up and I'm like, dude, this is so far up. And then I look down and I'm like, oh no.
You've already committed.
And I had to deliver.
Mhm.
That was the problem. I had to deliver. So there I go. And I just remember like feeling the thump right on the door. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh Lord. It's like, this is the end of the bombshell right here.
No, the bombshell is still standing tall.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Well, Haley, I have to ask because I ask everybody for a match recommendation, and this can be any wrestlers, any promotions, whether it's like WWE or even independents, but one that you are a fan of that you think the listener should go check out.
Let me tell you, my go-to match that I see every time is SummerSlam 1991, Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart.
Oh, so good.
That one is always my go-to. If I want to sit and just watch something, such a classic. It's literally, I don't want to say my favorite match, but it is most definitely up there for me. It's
Mhm.
literally it has everything that you need in it. It has your story. It has your technical wrestling. You have two generational wrestlers in the ring showcasing from their families,
Mhm.
and you have Stu and Helen Hart watching for Brett, and it's such a beautiful match for me. I can just sit there and watch it over and over and over if I wanted to.
I think after we're done, I'm gonna have to throw that on because, like, man, it is such
For
a good
sure.
one.
For sure. For sure.
Uh, now, social media. You do a great job with your social media, but for the listeners, if they're not following you already, where can they find you on social media so they can follow you?
Okay, so I normally use Facebook and Instagram more than I do any other platform.
Mhm.
For Instagram, it's one Haley underscore. I think that's what that is. Like
Yeah.
the yeah, underscore Danielle.
Mhm.
And then you can also just look up on Facebook the Bombshell Haley Danielle.
Awesome. And for upcoming shows, I know you have some that you can't announce yet, but if you do have any, where can the people find you at?
So I do have a show that's in Edinburgh, Texas, for Citrus All Pro Wrestling. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think my schedule because I have one for TKL on May 17th. I'm in a fatal four-way match for that one. Um, I might show up at Comic Palooza this year. Who knows?
Oh, all right. Haley, I am very excited. I think that there are bright things ahead of you in your future, and I'm excited for you to get that because, like I said before, you've done a great job so far. So I'm very excited for you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you joining me today. By the way, joining me also. By the way,
Well, I appreciate you and thank you. I really enjoyed this.
thank you, and thank you to Haley, and thank you for checking out the podcast. I say it every time. I will always say it. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me talk wrestling. If it's your first time listening, you can find me on all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, all podcast platforms, and up on YouTube, where realistically, if you're watching this, so you're seeing our bright smiling faces, so you don't need me to tell you it's up on YouTube. You're already here. But thanks for checking out the podcast. We'll talk soon. Grainmaker.